What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a great week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, shares, donations. Your support really does mean a lot to me, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. You are in for an amazing journey. Now, the theme of this week's monthly spread is going to be love. Whether you're looking for love, in love, this one's for you, Cancer. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. What up, D-Money? Gems are feeling good. I got you a surprise feline guest. You know, it's just good vibrations all around here, Cancer. Now, with this spread, I'm going to be pulling 9 cards, and I'll be pulling clarifications as need be, and of course, a good old surprise card at the end, so don't you worry. And in case y'all were curious, I'm using the Light Seers Tarot deck. And I've included a link for this deck and other decks that I like using down in the description box below. So definitely check that out if you're interested, Cancer. But let's go ahead and get into your first card here, my personal favorite, which is going to be what they're like. Why? I'm not really sure, but nature my problem. Higher Self. What is it that, what's this person like that's coming in for Cancer here? Let's see what's cooking up in your town, Cancer. Let's see what's going on with love. Oh, interesting. You got the Hermit here, Cancer. So I feel like this is someone who may be kind of like an introvert, you know, maybe someone who likes to maybe like lives in their own kind of head, you know, maybe more so the type like they'll be good. It'll be good for like a relationship, you know. I feel like they may be good for like a one-on-one type of session, you know. Maybe they're the type like, not maybe like in like a crowd type of setting, but you know, I get someone, you know, possibly too, you know, that's very introspective, you know, can be very wise, you know, very attuned to themselves, and you know how maybe have a good understanding of how they operate and how they just really kind of a good head on their shoulders is what I'm kind of getting with this energy here, because that's what the hermit is about. That like divine wisdom, you know, that patience, that excuse me, not that I can have to deal with patience as well, but you know, it's very much trying to like find your light within and, you know, kind of let that shine as well. So, you know, this could be person 2, you know, maybe Cancer, you know, that someone that you could possibly see some potential in, you know, maybe there's just like, there's a star that's waiting to be just, waiting to shine, you know. I feel like there's just a light that's waiting to be exposed here, you know. So let's find out where this is going here. This is interesting. You're almost giving me like kind of mysterious vibes. Let's get more into this journey, Cancer. So the second card is going to be how you'll meet. So, you know, kind of like energetically, you know, where you might need to be at to meet this person. And I don't know if I mentioned, Cancer, but this isn't a gender specific reading. You know, we're just kind of working with the energies here. So Higher Self, what kind of, how will Cancer meet this person? Let's see where we kind of need to be at to maybe meet this person. Oh, interesting. Well, and yeah, you got the Tower here, Cancer. And I feel like with the Tower coming up, you know, this applies for both you and your person, and not that, you know, we haven't met this person yet, so they got to get that figured out. But for you, Cancer, you got me on your side. So, but with this Tower here, you know, the Tower is a card of out with the old, in with the new, you know, any sort of like old establishment, any sort of old ways, you know, that aren't serving us a purpose anymore. You know, it's about clearing all that wreckage out, you know, taking the wisdom that you got from me, you know, just don't totally disregard this, whatever that experience is, you know, get that stuff figured out here so that you can, once you do, you can make more space for love to come in. Because the thing with love, and, you know, really anything in general, but especially with love, you know, if we want if we want love in our lives, we need to make space for it. If we're dealing with stuff here, this person here, it's a good thing that they're hermiting, because this is how you make the space for this stuff. You contemplate, you figure out what are some, and you know what, Cancer, the day that I'm recording this thing, I actually just did, I did a similar, there was like a similar message here, where it's like, if there's going to need to be like a change, there's going to be some kind of like, there has to be action that needs to be taken here. If you want some, let love, to come in here, we have to make space for it. And that's where, okay, I'm getting back on track. That's where the hermit comes in, in the sense of like we're figuring out again, finding the wisdom in all this stuff here, and then welcoming that. We're acting as this. Think of the hermit also too as like a beacon. If you want to attract love, we have to think about all the things that we want in love. You don't want to think like, oh well, I don't want them to be like a liar, a cheater, because you think about all the things you don't want. That's what you're manifesting, what you don't want. But if you think about what you do want in these things here, I want someone who's compassionate. I want someone who's kind. I want someone I can grow with. I want you see, we change the narrative, then things start opening up for us here, and it'll be for both you and your person here. So I feel like this is something that Cancer, if we want love and we want things to come into our life, then things are going to have to change, and we're going to have to take action too, because this is Mars energy, and that's where I was kind of, okay, there we go. I'm piecing it all together here. There was a point I mentioned in the Chariot and Friends today, because it was a lot of the big theme for that was that you needed to take action. If we're going to get, it's one thing to know that something is wrong, or that something where, maybe where we're weak in an area, or whatever that's looking like for you, Cancer. Even if we're like, why haven't we found the one? Well, sit with that, Cancer. What are you doing? Are you doing the things to attract the one? Are we taking care of ourselves? Are we Empress? Are we self-care? Have we dealt with our stuff emotionally? Are we stable? What's going on in our realms here? Because the Tower is Mars energy here. We got it. If you want anything in life, you got to take action. So that's where I'm going to leave that there, because I know I'm not coming at you, Cancer. This is a safe space here. I just want you to get the most out of the energies. For everyone. Whenever I get like passionate like that, it's because I see what you want, and I want you to get it. The mother and the Cancerian in me wants you to get this thing, Cancer. So go get it. Go get your happiness. Let's get to your third card here. I hope that whole thing makes sense. Yeah, let's get to your third card, which is going to be your first impression of this person. So, hiya, self. Let's get the light energy again. Hiya, self. What's the first impression of this person here for Cancer? Let's see how what you think of this person. I'm not even sure what I'm trying to say, Cancer. Interesting. Oh, no, that makes sense. You got the Three of Pentacles here. Let me tell you why. Because the Three of Pentacles is a card of, normally it's a card of collaboration. Usually it could be in business too, but it could also be, since we're talking about love, we're obviously dealing with love here. But I feel like your first impression is kind of like how I was talking about in the beginning. This is a person who they don't give me like social butterfly vibes. Now with this, we're kind of doubling down on it. This seems like a person who may be some more kind of like a homebody, someone who, I don't think that they wouldn't mind going out with you, Cancer, if you're the type that kind of like maybe likes being more out, maybe going out for dinner, things like that. But I feel like this is definitely a person who gives me sort of just kind of introvert vibes, someone who, probably once you get in their world could be potentially, really fun, but it's going to be one of those things is that I feel like you'll see, Cancer, because it's going to be one of those things, with Cancerian energy, Cancers have this way of just like really feeling out the room, like it's you, and it's almost like a game. I was actually talking with one of my friends. He's a Libra, and he was talking about how he had a room full of Cancers, and it's just fun to see how Cancers kind of navigate. Everyone's just sort of like feeling each other out here and just seeing how the energies are working here. So I feel like this is going to be someone, it's like, it'll be like one of those things. I don't know if you've ever done this, Cancer, where it's just like, you'll see like a stranger, let's say you're at like a gathering or something like that, and it's just, there's something about the person that's just like, I'm just gonna get all up in their space. I'm just gonna go see. I'm just gonna go poke the bear real quick, and not like you're irritating them, but it's just like, I don't understand this energy. Let's see what that is. That's kind of what I'm getting with this thing. That's I dig that, Cancer. Let's see how you feel about it, which is going to be your next card, which is going to be kind of how this will affect you here. So, I see how it's affecting me. Don't take that as a red flag, Cancer. But let's get into this fourth card. How will this relationship affect Cancer? We're kind of got this person figured out here. Let's see what's going on with that, Cancer. Oh, interesting. So maybe it was a red flag, Cancer. You got the Nine of Cups here. And with the Nine of Cups, let's be serious, because this is actually kind of this is weird, because you got with the Nine of Cups in reverse, the Nine of Cups is normally a card of happiness, a card of joy, a card of fulfillment. So maybe this could be something, Cancer, where maybe how this person operates, maybe they're a little too to themselves. Maybe they keep their feelings bottled up, per se, they may keep their feelings bottled up, or maybe they're the types that you have to like kind of how do I want to put it? Not necessarily you have to work to kind of get underneath their shell here, but if that's the case, Cancer, that's kind of how we operate as well. It's going to be one of those things, that we don't expose everything, over, just, we may fall in love easy, but, it's going to take some work to kind of get through that, before we allow you even in the foot of the door of like our shell here. So I feel like, maybe that's what's affecting you here. Maybe you're trying to get close to this person. Maybe they're kind of keeping you at arm's length, Yeah, that's interesting, Cancer. Let's get a little bit more on that. Higher self. Can we clarify the Nine of Cups, please? Yeah, let's get a little bit more on that, Cancer. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Cancer, you got the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel like maybe this has got you in a place of like maybe it feels like this person is kind of keeping you on the outside. They're not letting you in. Because this could be. Because it's one thing, like, let's say if we're starting in a relationship, that totally makes sense. It's, maybe this person doesn't necessarily want to, dump their purse out on the table on the first date here, Cancer, be reasonable. But if this is something where maybe we've been in a relationship for a little while and we're still noticing that maybe there's like this disconnect, or that we can't seem to, there's not like that bonding that's happening, or, the harmony here. Don't sit on that, Cancer. Talk about this thing. That's something that we have to. If you let yourself kind of fester in this, because here's the thing, Cancer, too. You got to be careful with that, because if this person is in a hermit stage, Cancers and water signs, have a tendency to take on the emotions of people. So if they're keeping things bottled up, then sometimes, we don't understand what's going on. We're keeping things bottled up. We're festering, and then we've taken on their problem and made it our problem on top of our problem. And you see what happened? What's happening here, Cancer, is a whole mess. It's a big tower moment. You see how you put yourself in a tower, self-imposed tower, and it's going to be one of those things where we can. I'm living to you, Cancer, that if we're going to want to get to where you want to get on the other side of this door here, it's going to be about communication, like let your feelings be known here, because it just, maybe this person isn't aware of this thing, if it's, unfortunately, we're not psychic yet, we got to get back in connection with that. But until then, you got to communicate, Cancer. So, it's, and keep in mind too, Cancer, I can't tell you what to do, and this is a judgment-free zone here, but if we get to this place where we don't understand why we're happy, then, it's, assess the situation, it's kind of right in front of your face. If it's one of those things that we're complaining, you think about that. You're putting all the stuff out there that's wrong, and then you're pretty much, that's a roadmap. At least now you have something to tackle. So I hope that makes sense. Let's get to your fifth card here, which is going to be what kind of relationship this will be. So, hiya self. Because we're, I tell you, these love readings have been quite profound, Cancer. So let's see what kind of relationship this will be here. Okay, see what happened, Cancer? Look at that. You got the Ten of Pentacles here. And see what happened when we communicate? look at that. Everything's resolved. Happy home, happy family, happy dog. Look at that. You got all you need, and whatever that looks like for you, Cancer. And this can be, and not even in just like, if we're, well, hold on, let me put it this way. It's, when I think about relationships, or really just anything in general, but since we're talking about relationships, if you're pouring this Nine of Cups energy here, if we're not understanding what's happiness, why we're not happy, and we're just like feeding into that that's going to affect this Ten of Pentacles here. But you see what happened when I said we should talk about these things. We take a different route here. If this way isn't working here, that's the point of this Tower, Cancer. It's to try something new, to welcome in something different, because look what's on the other end of this thing. This is a potential that can possibly come up here. It's Ten of Pentacles, so this Ten of Pentacles is in, if anything, this is definitely showing me too that this relationship, it's in both of your hands here. Definitely this isn't all on you, Cancer, and that's at some point too, if this gets to the place where you've had enough, you got to think of your Ten of Pentacles here too. And I'm talking about just your individual Ten of Pentacles here. That's because if your foundation is all jacked up, then you got two people with two messed up foundation. One's building on water, the other building on sand. What you think's going to happen? It's just going to be a muddy mess. So I hope that felt kind of profound there, but hopefully you felt that too, Cancer. Because I was just like, ooh, that was good. I was gonna pat myself on the back there, Cancer. But let's get serious again, because now that we've worked through some things, hopefully we started turning this thing around, Cancer. Let's start focusing on let's see what some obstacles that might come our way here. So, hi yourself. What are some obstacles that Cancer might be facing at this time? What are some we've been learning a lot about transformation. Let's see what's going on here. So you got the Ten of Swords in reverse here, Cancer. And this is what I was talking about. If it's the Ten of Swords is a card of, it's intense energy. It gets you to the place of kind of like rock bottom. You feel like this is it. You're just, it's doom and gloom from here on out. And Cancer, that's a place that's how our Ten of Pentacles gets all jacked up. Because if and you say, I was like, I'm not holding this you see how I was holding this happiness here, this Nine of Cups in reverse here. If this is what's fueling this stuff here, then we can't heal from this thing here. Because the thing, Cancer, is if you hit the bottom, you can only go up from here. The sun still shines, and you know what? If you're here too, celebrate that, Cancer. That shows that you can get back up in here, that it's not all hopeless. That if it was, then we just stop. Then there's that the journey's done. But Cancer, if we're still going in this thing, because the Ten of Swords in reverse can also mean, it's a card of recovery, and it's time to do some healing, Cancer. And it could be for you, it could be for this person. And if it's for this person, Cancer, I was telling Sagittarius this. You have to decide how much you can, because they got it in the same, they got the Nine of Cups in the same position here. And it was just like, you have to decide how much is too much for you. If you can't handle this thing, that's okay. You just have to express that. There's nothing wrong in admitting that. Just like, listen, I don't know, I haven't developed the tools yet to help you, through this thing. I feel like this is something that we need to figure out where we need to go from here, Cancer. And that may seem tough at the time, that maybe that's for some of you, maybe that's why we're feeling like we're at rock bottom, but we have to possibly have to make a difficult choice here. But Cancer, depending on how this goes, if you take, honestly, Cancer, both, if you decide to, there's healing potentials on both sides here, Cancer. It's just going to depend on what you want to do at the end of the day with this obstacle here. So I'll keep it moving. Let's get to your seventh card here, which is going to be the outcome. Some possible outcome. So hi yourself. What's a possible outcome for Cancer in this thing? Let's see. Let's see what's going on for Cancer here. Okay. You got the Four of Pentacles in reverse here. And with this, the Four of Pentacles normally for me, like in this deck really too, is just like a card of like kind of saving. And I feel like, really in this aspect, considering what we've been working with, like saving, where do we want to channel our energy into, because, I feel like one possible outcome is that we can get to this place where we're feeling like, where we can feel like depleted. That's what I'm kind of getting with this Four of Pentacles here. Where we've been trying this thing, and we've sacrificed ourselves so much that we're out. You have nothing left to give, Cancer. Now we're Ten of Swords, and now you're at this crossroads here. And it's just going to be one of those things, however this goes, Cancer. You know I'm going to be with you along on this journey here, but we're going to have to make Tower. Remember at how this thing. I really feel like this tower is not even just going to be how you'll meet, but how you sustain this thing. If we keep operating in old hurt modalities, then that's where we're going to stay at. It's just hurt, but if we practice some healing here, we build our reserves back up, kind of focus on getting our resources, because that's one of the things that Pentacles have to deal with. If we get this stuff back in reserves here, then because Cancer, the thing too, what you get from this thing, whether this thing succeeds or not, you're going to become so compassionate from this lesson here. If we decide once we get the wisdom for this thing, because this isn't going on just to be random. If this is resonating with you here, there's a lesson. There's a really a good potential for some solid growth here. But it's really going to be a matter of our perspective in this thing. What actions we choose to take with that here. With the knowledge that you've gotten from this thing. So, yeah, let's get to your 8th card here, which is going to be how this will ultimately affect you. So, higher self, how will this ultimately affect Cancer? Let's see how this could potentially affect you here, Cancer. Okay, you know what? And that's what I was kind of talking about here. You got the Three of Swords in reverse here. And that's where I feel like this is kind of reminding you too that you have the power to free yourself from any kind of like negative stuff that you're feeling right now. If we've really been feeling like this, like kind of Nine of Cups in reverse here, where we're just been kind of sad, kind of down, whatnot. How this will ultimately affect you, Cancer, is I feel like, because this is a tough decision here, whether you addressing, because this is a vulnerable energy here, that's being brought here. And how this is going to ultimately affect you, I feel like it's going to show that you can rise up to this occasion here, that in the face of Ten of Swords, in the face of your rock bottom here, what you might have thought is rock bottom, that you got at you saw the other end of it, you've taken that first step, and then that's how we keep that growth going. This is something that healing is difficult, but it's so worth it at the end of the day. It's really it's as difficult as we choose to make it. It's just like when any kind of Tower moment comes up here. The Tower moment is not a bad card. It's meant for our growth. This is a metamorphosis here. This is But the same thing too with the Tower, it's something that we have to take action. We have to move. Mars energy. Let's finish this thing out, Cancer. So higher self. What will Cancer learn from this thing? That's the last card, Cancer. What are some lessons from this thing? Because I'll tell you what, Cancer. This is I dig it. There've been a lot of nuggets of wisdom from these love readings here. So hopefully you got one too. Okay, Cancer. You got the two. You know what? I like that. Let's get in. Let's bring this story home. You got the Two of Cups in reverse here, and it's going to be, Cancer is one of those things that if we ignore our happiness, then there's going to be disharmony here, because that's what the Two of Cups is about. This is about our cups have to deal with our feelings here. This I really is feeling like getting down to like the heart of the matter here, because this is Venus in Cancer here. This is I feel like this is asking you to take the time, that if you are not in if you are in a hurt place, or if your person is in a hurt place, someone needs to be, whether it's you, Cancer, or maybe this person, how do I want to put this, Cancer? Let's focus on you. If you are in a hurt, if you're coming in from a hurt place, the Two of Cups in reverse, I feel like is asking us, if we're feeling this way, that we need to nurture ourselves. We need to go within and really be compassionate with ourselves. Find out what that is, and then give it all the love and all the, because that's what this energy needs. It just wants to be felt, it wants to be heard, and it wants you to find love, because that's the Two of Cups is like, especially when we're talking about in love, this is dope. This is like, where their hands are holding, look at the energy flowing. So I feel like if we want that, that feeling of just that harmony, that passion, that soulmate type of feeling, for you and your person, there's got to be some healing. And if your person isn't seeing that thing, let's say now let's focus on them. If this is not something that they're seeing, bring it to their attention. It just might be something that they might, just need to get on their radar. And, down the line, if it gets to a place where it's, we're not feeling fulfilled in this relationship here, where there's no actions that are being taken here, then you got to do what you got to do, Cancer. And whatever you decide to do, again, know that I'm supporting you in this thing. So, I'll leave that there. I hope that made sense, Cancer. Like this thing, if you know someone who might be going through this stuff, because this was a lot, Cancer. This is a lot to deal with, and I feel like it's, when Cancers, and Cancer. I got my son in Cancer, so I get it. When we fall hard, and then it's you'll compromise. I feel like there's a difference between compromising and balance, and harmony in relation. I feel like there should be harmony in relationship, because when we compromise too much, then the scales get tipped weird, and then then things get kind of murky here. So wow, what was I even talking about? See, Cancer, we just get all up in it. We're subscribing. Subscribe, hit that bell button. You'll get notified when I release videos each week. I'm all up on Facebook. In Cancer, I know I talked about it earlier, but you know how I feel about you checking out the Sheridan, friends, because I'll tell you what, the other one, the one that I did when I recorded this one, it was very similar in like that taking action type of state here. So it's just something that, if you get some chance, definitely, sun, moon, rising, go check that out, Cancer. This one's for you, and all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let's get your card so I can get you out of here. Okay, you got the Three of Wands in reverse here, and I feel like with this, because I feel like with the Three of Wands, it's very, for me, it's kind of very expansive energy. It's like a card of like, the opportunities, and taking this energy and going. Because if you see here, she's taking her board out and she's getting ready to go. She's waiting for that big wave to come in, Cancer. And I feel like with this, if we want, again, to kind of like find love and all this stuff here, we need to make the space for it. If we stay, because this is giving me like, where with it being in reverse, where we're having like this limited sort of, we're operating from like a narrow scope here. We should think more expansive, so that we can welcome in more, get this energy here, because like I feel like I say that too, more astrology according to Justin here. This is the sun in Aries here, and I feel like it's going to be one of those things that if you want your sunshine, then you're going to need to go out and get it, and find different ways for you to go get it, because the sun shines so bright in so many areas, and maybe sometimes that we get overwhelmed in that. Maybe then maybe for some, maybe we get in this place where we don't want to look for others, so maybe we settle in a relationship. And again, Cancer, there's no judgment here, but if it's something where you haven't been feeling happy, we have to, at some point you want to think about your happiness, Cancer. Do you want to stay in this place all the time, or do you want to see the opportunities that are before you here? The ball is in you and your person's court here. You know, however you operate this thing, again, I'm cheering you along the way, Cancer, and I can't wait to see, you know, where this thing goes, you know, because, you know, it's tarot, this isn't set in stone here. That's the nice thing about it too, you know, it's just getting an understanding of how we can work with this energy here. You can paint this future however you want, Cancer. So go do that. Go manifest, you know, manifest it however you want. Make the most out of this Tower moment. So I'll leave that there, Cancer. Stay safe out there, and you keep raising that vibration, because this was good stuff here. And I will catch you on the next one later.